Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the next terrifying chapter of Random Rhapsodies, Sonnet of Blood. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Curse of Strahd playthrough. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Dyto, Joe, Marty, and Natalie. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hola!
Hello.
Well done. Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's campaign, Hero Forge. Marty?
Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we built our tokens for this evening's game. You can build your own today at heroforge.com.
Thank you, Marty. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or putting your favorite picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show descriptions. This week, we are back with another episode of Laropan Tales, Tyranny of Dragons. That's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, at 7 p.m. Central Time. After that, next week on Monday, we have another episode of the Aethertech Wars, which is our Pathfinder 2e campaign. That game is at 6 p.m. Central Time. Now you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we do here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody, on Blue Sky as Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok as Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's it. Done with the announcements. So join us as we dive into the land of Barovia and continue on with the Conclave Expedition as they attempt to survive. A Sonnet of Blood! And we're back. So if you've been watching our channel, you probably know how we do our recaps. I offer up the Random Rhapsody coin, which in this campaign is worth a hefty nat 20. I have no idea why I decided to do that at the beginning of this game. It was probably crazy of me, but it's been fun so far. If I do the recap, I get the coin. And I really want to have that nat 20, at least once. At least once in this campaign, I will have it. How about today?
No.
I'll die before you have it. It's never going to happen. Because I could die if you have it.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Haha, see what I did there? Yeah.
Fair. Anyway, okay. Well, I think I saw Delphine volunteer there. So, Delphine, tell us what happened last time on Sonnet of Blood.
So last time we were still exploring Argynvastholt. We made it up to the second floor. We entered um, some of the rooms on the other side that were crumpled and decaying. Went a little too far trying to find the weapon we're looking for. And the spiders that were in the room below that we kind of just said, yeah, no, started climbing up, and we ended up having to fight them. We made it through that, mostly unscathed. And then we continued on going up to another floor where we got stuck in a hallway with some ghosts. There was a trapdoor behind us, and we all got stuck in a hallway with some ghosts. Then after we defeated those ghosts, were they revenants? Were those ones revenants?
No, the ghosts weren't revenants. They were just ghosts.
Just the ghosts. Then we entered a room with a bunch of dead people. Danika snuck in to see what was in the room behind them, and ended up waking them up. And it turns out they were soldiers here that originally wanted to fight us, but Danika and the rest of us were able to be like, yeah, no, we are enemies of Strahd. We're here to try and figure out how to defeat him. And they kind of let us go on our way after telling us that the sword we were looking for belonged to their captain, and he won't part with it easily. So we'll have to figure out tonight how to deal with that. Violence is always an option, but we do also have a bard.
I like violence.
What? No. Well,
It's pretty fun.
I'm not sure if allowed you to go your way is correct, since you are still in a closed room with them. But anyway, there you go, Delphine. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it, though. It's only going to last the session. Anyway, Expedition members. As I just mentioned, you are all standing inside what appears to have once been a meeting room inside of Argynvastholt. Faded war banners adorn the walls of the spacious chamber, and in the center of it stands a heavy wooden table. An iron chandelier hangs illuminated, hanging above the table, which is surrounded by 6 high-backed chairs with wood-carved dragons perched atop them, 5 of which have been pushed back from the table just a moment ago. The occupants of those chairs are the rotting corpses Delphine previously mentioned, and at least 4 of the undead have their hands resting on their weapons and are eyeing your group grimly as you converse with the long-haired warrior facing Danika. Speaking of Danika, she is standing alone against the northern wall of this room, next to a lead glass narrow window, where a dusty and tattered war banner, hangs above where Cog is currently standing, on the eastern side of the room. I kind of fucked that up a little bit. That's okay. Anyway, Urzak, Vide, and Delphine remain against the southern wall by the door. And you're all kind of eyeing each other. This is almost a little bit of like one of those... oh, God, what are those called? Texas standoff, I think, or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, you got them pincered in between the two of you. They're all standing up, kind of hands on weapons. Danika has just... said what she said, talking about how Strahd, you are all enemies of Strahd. And the long-haired undead warrior had just revealed that the Sword of Light, foretold in the Taroko reading Madame Ava gave you all those weeks ago, is currently in the possession of the commander, Vladimir. Now, this admission seems to have caused a stir among the other 4 soldiers. Each visibly reacts to the lead undead's words, and there are several grumbles of surprise from them. One of them barks out, "Silence, Godfried! You would betray the order to these intruders?" "I betray nothing, Percival." This is the long-haired undead responding. "Sir Vladimir cares not who knows what he carries. It would be suicide to try and take it from him. And by warning these enemies of Strahd, they may still be able to challenge him. Sir Vladimir may have given up, but I have not. And I will not see more enemies of Strahd die at Vladimir's hand." So, with that in mind, expedition members, what do you want to do?
Wow, I don't want to die at Strahd's hand. Should note that.
Elaborate. What do you mean by that?
What? Me? I mean, I don't want to die. Thought that
Fair
was
enough.
kind of self-explanatory.
Why did you specify by his hand? Why did you emphasize it like that?
It's an expression, young man. I mean, you could die at my hand. But spell. It's just you know what? Let's just put that aside. Let's talk to these gentlemen.
We're gonna talk later.
Hmm?
We're gonna talk later.
I all right, if you want. Who is Vladimir? I don't know if we've come across that name yet. It wasn't in Strahd's journal, was it, or anything like that? Is this
No.
somebody that? Okay.
No, this is the first time you're hearing that name. Well, actually, last session he mentioned the person's name, but yeah. The one identified as Godfrey looks at you and says, "Sir Vladimir is the head of our order. He is the Knight Commander. Or he was. We were all once knights of the Order of Silver Dragon. But we died over 30 years ago in the war against Strahd."
Would we know, is that about the time that Van Richten and they all moved against him, and Mitchell, and I guess we know?
The war, you know that the war against Strahd was over 30 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, I think he more would say 40 years ago is when he died. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we know about that situation. It's unfortunate that you all you lost and you died. I apologize for that happening. How can I ask? How did you lose the battle?
Make for me a persuasion check.
Oh God, I actually gotta get my character sheet out. Jeez, I didn't even have that ready.
What?
I know. My kid came in and asked me earlier. She's like, "Why did you shout die earlier?" And I was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I was talking to Matt." She's like, "Who's Matt?" And I was like, "You've met him before." Is it a persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion.
Oh, I don't know why advantage. 11. Guess he's not going to tell me.
What was your question again? Sorry.
How did they lose the battle?
Then the former knight shakes his head and says, I wish I could say for certain. All I know is that Strahd fell Lord Argynvost, our leader, our master.
He's the dragon, yes?
He nods his head. And at this, the rest of them, the rest of the undead, react again. Godfrey, no!
Well, why, are you not allowed to tell us, or have you sworn an oath of some kind?
The identity of our master is one of our most closely guarded secrets. But it matters not. Lord Argynvost died at the hands of Strahd. Strahd butchered his body, stripped him of his skin, took his bones back to Castle Ravenloft.
Oh. All of his bones?
All but the skull. Another.
Oh.
And then he shuts his mouth, realizing he spoke a bit too much.
We're not here to desecrate your master's honor, or we're not even here to we're not here to steal from your master either. We came looking for anything that can help us defeat Strahd, and we heard there was something here. So I mean, I don't know if you've been why you can't speak of this. I respect it. I won't challenge it. But yeah, I mean, I'll take any info I can get. I mean, we know Argynvost we believe he's the dragon, right? That lorded over. Is he the white dragon? Or a silver dragon?
Silver dragon.
The silver dragon you followed. I mean, we knew that who is. You don't have to. I mean, you saying that to us. I mean, we figured that information out on our own. So I mean, I guess, did you die in the battle? Did you die after?
He sighs a little bit. He seems kind of torn right now. Anybody else want to chime in and give Cog some support here?
Maybe a charismatic elf of some kind?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would also like to know.
We do.
Do you have anything specific you wanted to?
Yeah.
Listen, I have nothing specific right now.
We do wish to help this land and its people, and we can't do that unless we get some more answers. We've been wandering around for weeks, not learning everything we need to, losing more. We just need a leg up.
Well, why don't you guys give me another persuasion check? You're all working together, so someone can roll it with advantage.
I mean, I've got a +1.
I got a
guessing
+6.
Someone else, yeah. Someone might even have more than that.
It's already on it.
You rolled more with just your modifier than I did my whole roll. Just want you to know that.
Yay! Sorry, I keep forgetting that my mic is off. Okay, what do we get? A 24.
Okay. Well, with your 24, Godfried motions with his hand towards the knights, trying to appease them for a moment. There is no harm in them knowing our history. That one over there, he points at you, Urzak, bears one of our shields. A shield brighter and more fitting of our former lord than any I've seen since our death. The rest of the knights mutter amongst themselves for a moment, but sit down. Godfrey tells you, our master came to this land hundreds of years ago and rose up the Order of the Silver Dragon. When Strahd began his war against humanity, the Order stood against him. While its purpose was not to stand up to Strahd originally, the evils we saw the Lord of this land commit forced our hand and made us all join in the war. We sheltered Strahd's enemies, fought against his armies whenever we could. But eventually, no matter how many victories we won, we were unable to win the war. Even with our lord, a great silver dragon at our side, we were ultimately overwhelmed by Strahd's reinforcements when it swept through this valley, annihilating the city below. Those forces slew the last of our knights and killed our lord here inside this keep. The only thing Strahd left was Argynvost's skull. He left it in the foyer as a warning to any who tried to reclaim this keep or restore the order.
I'm not even sure. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
He was like, I mean, I don't know that we were planning to restore the order. I'm not even sure how we would do that, to be honest.
It's impossible. No one believes that at this point. Even after we were slain, the death of Argynvost enraged the spirit of my master, Sir Vladimir. He was the greatest of the Dragon's Knights, and his spirit was fierce and powerful. Sir Vladimir returned as we are now, spirits occupying a corpse, determined and devoted for revenge.
Oh?
We swore to avenge the destruction of our order. And his zeal for this was so great that he brought back many of us as well. We renewed and swore oaths once again to Lord Vladimir to follow him in this eternity.
Oh. Well, I mean...
He holds up his hand. I know what you're thinking, but we cannot. Though we fought Strahd for many years, when his war on humanity finally ended and he retreated to his castle, we marched on Castle Ravenloft, determined to destroy Strahd, to drive him from Barovia once and for all. But before we could confront him, we were stopped by a Vistani, a seer woman, who told Sir Vladimir the truth about Strahd.
Oh? I'm assuming you're talking about Madame Ava.
Do not know her name. Only what she told us. That Strahd was an undead, just like us. Cursed, a prisoner of his own land, tormented by the death of his beloved and the murder of his brother, doomed to repeat the same hell over and over and over again. When Sir Vladimir, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think when he mentions the love, I mean, Kago like kind of gets a little choked up at that. You're talking about Lise? It was Lise, right? That was, I think it was her actual, not Irina, but Lise, I believe, was the real name.
Lise was one name of many. There have been so many others. All starting with the original. A woman named Tatiana, according to the Vistani. She called it a cycle destined to renew for eternity.
So is it like what Lise might have been like her, Tatiana's reincarnation, and then Irina was... Is it kind of like that kind of a situation?
I think so.
Are we
gathering? I'm familiar with this name, Lise. She was the latest, the one that drove Strahd to call on his war on humanity.
Well, that's partially right. And as he's talking, Cog's going to start unfolding the portable hole, and he's going to, ask. He's going to look at her.
I don't know if there's enough room in this room for that.
Well, that's why I was going to put it on the wall.
Oh, okay.
And he would look at her. He's like, hey, he's like, he's holding it up, but he's like, can't really, go ahead. Thank you. And then he would, as he kind of slowly, he would get Urzak to help him bring her out, and he's like, "This is Lise, or Irina, that she was, I suppose, reincarnated as. We met her, befriended her, and Strahd had her killed." And after we found, and he's like, he'd have pull the book as after we found her journal, and I think it's because she was killed that he took his war on your humanity here. It wasn't her doing. She was taken from him.
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh, well, as you said, because I thought you were meant like maybe
because of her. No, he was saying because of her death.
Gotcha.
He was alluding to because she died. He waged his war on humanity.
I'm hoping is like I'm keeping her body sustained so she doesn't pass on, and I'm hoping we can find a way to resurrect her, because I personally believe she's key to stopping him. She apparently we actually have one of his journals as well. She was his whole reason for being. She allowed him to feel human again. And I think she's the key to everything. And I think that's why he had her taken out. I think he feared her so much that he stopped her before she could really remember who she was. So I know he said you fought him once and lost, and fought him again and lost. I'm not saying we were the missing answer, But I mean, we're not from your world. We don't know the lessons you've learned. We have our own lessons that we've learned, and let's just say we don't give up. I'm not saying you did. I understand why you would. But if you could help us, maybe we can help you find peace. And maybe we can beat Strahd together.
Godfried sighs a little bit as he says, Lord Argynvost was also from a different world than this, as many of our order was. This realm is not one, but attached to many. Though this cursed land, once it has its grips on anyone, it rarely ever lets it go.
Yeah, kind of getting that feeling. But now that I'm here, what else am I going to do with my life?
He kind of shrugs at that. Many have called to war against Strahd. We came to these lands because of a war. A war against a necromancer by the name of Aslan.
Yeah.
Many of us once fought on Strahd's side during this war. But after, when Argynvost came and created his order, those of us who remained after the war found purpose within the Order of the Silver Dragon. As much as I would love to join and fight alongside any who stood against Strahd, we are all bound by our oaths to serve Vladimir.
So, maybe we try to convince Vladimir. I respect your duty bound. I do. But if you're duty bound to serve him, can we speak with him?
The corpse kind of seems a little bit deflated.
What? No, you're cool too.
He-
You heard? Trust me. I am already thinking after this, if I survive all of this, hell, you know what? Even if I don't, I could stick around and I could just write book upon book about each of you. He goes, I'm a chronicler by nature. I would love to hear all of your stories. But it's just time seems to always be of the essence here, doesn't it? And there's things moving in motion that, I mean, we kind of need to see to a few things before I can rest. So I am not, just see, I don't want you to think I'm not interested in speaking with you, sir.
That's not why
Oh,
I sigh. I sincerely hope if you are going to speak to Sir Vladimir, I sincerely hope you make it through the encounter alive. I have said all I can. I have warned you thus. Sir Vladimir is not a man to be trifled with, and he has power immense indeed. Many adventurers have come along. Many have tried to take the thing that you seek. I sincerely hope, that my lord's next orders to us are not to remove your corpses from his chamber. He looks towards the door and nods to it. If you exit this room and move to the south, you will find his chamber. He will be waiting. The audience hall is there. It is easy to get into, and you will see him waiting on you. No doubt, he knows of your presence already.
Yeah, sure he does. Cog would cautiously approach, just kind of like bow a little bit, and then he'll hold out his little hand. Just shake his hand.
The knight puts a fist to his heart, and then with his opposite hand takes yours. It is very cold, kind of weathered and dusty.
I hope this isn't our last conversation.
As do I. He sits back down in his seat and silently watches you all.
I could just retreats and kind of motion to Urzak. You want to fold the hole back down and kind of carefully put it in his pocket and bow graciously to the knight and say, he's like, shall we? Looking at the others.
Urzak kind of looks at Godfrey for a minute and says, if someone were to take up your cause, would you be able to rest?
Make a persuasion check.
14.
The corpse looks you up and down and says, I think the only way we may rest is if Sir Vladimir does. But I appreciate your thought.
Understand. I'll be the first one out of the room.
Like,
I'll follow.
Cog would be kind of close behind. He'd get up close to Urzak and just kind of poke him in the ribs. He's like, do you hate Valrus that much? You're already trying to join a new order?
Lay off.
He just chuckles and just starts walking along.
Danika, Vide, what are your thoughts?
Danika's just going to stay with the boys. Okay, no, she's going back.
She's just hanging with...
Hanging with the gang.
Hey, she wants to play some volleyball.
Oh no, I can't.
Sit to the south here, right?
I just thought of something that broke me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cog can just kind of stop and wait for everybody, just silently, and just kind of like if they look at me, he's just motioning his head over towards him. He's like, "Come
on." I'm gonna kind of grab Urzak's elbow a little bit as we leave the room, and look him dead in the eye. And is that something you're seriously considering?
Damn it! Passive of 15, though.
Well,
we were not being stealthy.
Cog's low to the ground, though.
If that's what it comes to, I suppose. If any advantage that will help us in this place, I feel is necessary.
Whatever you decide, I support you 100%. Sometimes change is good.
Yeah.
As you're moving into this next section, you can see that the roof over this part of the mansion has collapsed, creating a 20-foot diameter gaping hole with broken rafters bisecting it. There are dark storm clouds rolling across the sky overhead. The floor is piled with rocks, broken tiles, shattered beams, and other debris. Beneath the rubble lies a sagging floor and puddles of rainwater. As you climb over this debris, making your way as carefully as you can, though, let's be honest, it's very easy to loosen rocks and things like that. You come down to see a very wide open chamber that's been partially broken away by this not cave-in, but collapse of the upper floors, I suppose. The west wall of this 50-foot long, 35-foot wide, or 30-foot wide audience hall is crumbled, leaving a gaping hole and a pile of rubble. As you gaze past this, you can see that weapons and shields that once hung from the walls have fallen to the floor and long ago succumbed to rust. Towards the back of this chamber, a large wooden throne, carved to resemble a dragon with upfolding wings, faces 3 tall windows to the west. You can see that there is something slumped in that chair, though at this distance you can see little more than just a shape, a bit of an arm perhaps, and what appears to be chainmail. What do you do?
I like Cog seeing something that's there, and they said that he was here. He would just kind of like bow slightly and call out as like Lord Vladimir, leader of the, I guess it's the Order of the Silver Dragon, is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Knight Commander.
Knight Commander, you said?
Yep.
Lord Vladimir, Knight Commander of the Order of the Silver Dragon, we humbly request an audience.
You say this loudly, and you can hear your voice echo a little bit throughout this chamber. Behind this chair, the chair facing away from you, are 3 large windows with murals in stained glass. 3 figures, the center of which is a tall, regal-looking figure with a beard holding a glowing orb with rays of radiance spreading out, clearly the Morning Lord, and a dragon on the right-hand side in silver. The left is, you guess, maybe a saint or something like that. It's an individual in brown robes with arms outstretched and a little halo over his head. But none of you recognize this one. The figure in the chair seems to move slightly, and you hear a little bit of a scrape. And then a voice speaks out. Go away!
I would really like to accommodate you, sir. But unfortunately, we need your help. And we must speak with you.
Make a persuasion check.
You know, I should have fucking done the fucking recap. Said I could have had this fucking coin. Oh, that's bad. That's 18. That's good. That's better.
Considering.
I repeat again. Go away. For your own sake. Not mine.
I never said it would be yours, sir. I'm already trapped in Barovia. My sake is already pretty forced, I guess. I'm already pretty forsaken, is what he'd say. So my sake is already forsaken. I'm already forsaken, sir. I do not mean to be pushy. We just wish to speak.
You hear a creak of leather and then something slams down into the dirt. You can see, with the light of the shield and all of that, you can see what appears to be a greatsword in a bony hand. And the individual in the throne pushes himself up, allowing you to see it for the first time, as it pushes himself using the greatsword, almost like a staff, to bring himself up. If you have come to destroy me, know this. I perished defeating these lands. Or I perished defending these lands from evil over 35 years ago. Over 40 years ago, sorry. And because of my failure, I am forever doomed. He's beginning to turn now, walking around, and you can see that draped in a long suit of chainmail is something little more than a half-skeletal corpse. The flesh has been completely stripped away from a skull, though it still has eyes and a tongue, and a bit of a throat remaining. It looks you one after the other, and imagine you're all just kind of standing at the outset of this audience hall as it looks down towards you. The thing says, if you destroy this body, my spirit will find a new corpse to inhabit, and I will hunt you down.
I don't want to destroy you.
You cannot free me from my damnation. Nor would I wish it. Either.
Listen, I don't mean to be petulant here, but you are really not my concern. Strahd is my concern. I am just trying to find a way to kill him. And we were told there was something here that would help. Now, if that's not you, please can you point us to what we may need? I am sorry you died, and that things went so poorly here due to that piece of shit. But if you're just going to attack us, just get on with it. Because I'm really too fucking old, and I'm too tired to keep listening to this right now.
I've never wanted to kiss Cog so much. Dyto, not Delphine.
The response you get is this.
It's the guy from the intro. Oh my god.
So you have come to free this land from the creature that feasts on the blood of the innocent.
Actually, no. We went for a walk in the fucking mountains, found ourselves in the mist, and boom, we're here now. But I don't know if you've noticed, but I kind of don't sit idly by and I can't sit on my hands. I have a lot of manic energy. So I want to go home, and if I have to kill Strahd to do that, or just try and bring some of the people here some kind of peace. Maybe he comes back Maybe they get a year. I don't know. But it's in my nature to help. And he's a bad guy. And he killed one of my friends. So I would like to pay the favor. Right back to it.
Boo. Hoo. Know this, small one. There is no monster I hate more than Strahd von Zarovich. He slew Argynvost, broke the life of the knight I loved, and destroyed the valiant order to which I devoted my life. But Strahd has already died. He cannot be allowed to die again.
Wait a minute.
He must suffer eternally in a hell of his own creation, from which he can never escape. Whatever can be done to bring him misery and unrest, believe me, I would do. But I will destroy any who tries to end his torment. And with that, he slams that greatsword down in front of him, holding it almost like a spear or a shield between your group and him.
I look at Cog and I just say,
No. Yeah, I got this one, big fella.
all right, let you do your thing.
I'm sorry that you are such a bitch now that you've died.
Not helping.
Oh no. If you hate him so much, and guess what? He's gonna suffer a lot. But here's the thing, for your anger, your vengeance, you are damning everyone that is left here at his whim to die and never find rest. Your knights will never find rest because you are so filled with hate and anger that you are just gonna sit on your fucking bony hands and not do anything? Just fucking get it over with.
I
Maybe
lost
you need to
my
be destroyed.
hatred long ago.
No, I beg to differ.
Oh no, you don't understand. You think that you can do something against Strahd. You think you can stand up to him, that you'll defeat him and just, what did you say? Go home. There is no home. Once you are in Barovia, you are forever bound and damned to Barovia. You think anyone here who lives in this place is any different?
You know what? If I'm forced to stay here, I'm gonna fight him. Regardless of what you've said. You've given up. I won't. Maybe this is why when people die, they're supposed to pass on. Because the great and honorable man that you clearly were before, your men revere you so much that they followed you into the afterlife. But you're a shell of that man now. I think Argynvost would be ashamed of you.
Get his ass.
The opinions of the living mean nothing to the dead.
Yeah, but that's why you should have stayed dead.
Then leave me to my undeath. I grow tired of this needless
I wish
banter.
I could.
And he turns and begins walking back around the chair.
Alright, he's going to kind of be like, you guys want to help? Anybody? Bueller? What?
This is not vengeance. letting this feud go past life for decades and letting the people of this land suffer for your pettiness is not vengeance. It must be swift and decisive. This is anything but.
What if we could get the bones of your master back? Here, Strahd's got him up at his castle. It's not like we haven't recovered somebody's bones before. Be willing to do it for him, too.
The Revenant, because that's clearly what he is, pauses, and he lays a hand on the wing of the dragon motif carved onto the back of the chair. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
A coin would be awesome.
Help action?
You don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't even need it.
It's a 21.
Huh? Well, you rolled a 21. Okay. So, this is how he responds. The spirit of Argynvost is quite restless. Its skull was stolen from us by a witch who desecrated it. Keeps it to this day.
Oh, is it not? I thought it was here. I thought the guy said it was in the...
It was at one point. It was stolen nearly 10 years ago.
Who's the witch? You don't mean Baba Lysaga, do you?
Can't hear you, Brandie.
I was like, oh no.
The
Oh,
Revenant turns its head and scowls at you. You know this name.
Yeah, she's dead. We killed her.
Yeah. Kinda
Do
took
we
care
have
of that
the
one
skull?
already. I don't think so.
I think it was too big.
Do you remember what happened
was
to the
riding-
skull?
She
She
was
was using it
fucking
as her
flying
fucking-
in it.
Yeah, she was flying in it.
So does that mean it's back?
And what
in
happened
the
after
town?
that?
I don't remember that.
Broke it.
Yeah.
Well, we could still.
I think it
retrieve
got shattered.
pieces. Was it like into dust or was it pieces?
I think it was pieces.
Yeah. I think it's back in the ruins of her hut. It may have been destroyed, but we could at least retrieve the pieces and put them, intern them here.
The little more than a skull turns to look at you, those all too human eyes unnervingly moving from one to the next of you. If you return the skull of my great lord, I will consider your request. Now leave me to my misery.
Gladly.
Coggle bow. It's like, I'm gonna hold you to that. And she's just walking away. It's like, does anybody feel like this is a side quest in Assassin's Creed? Do you guys remember that scroll? Reading that one? Had to pick up 200 feathers to make a freaking work. Such a pain in the butt.
About how much would you say that skull weighs?
Well, we got the hole. We could put the pieces in the hole, and then I fold the hole up.
I think we're running out of room. We have too many bodies in the hole.
No, there's just 2. I don't have that many. Just Ismark and
It's like, if
Irina.
it's less than
I don't know. I feel like 2 is still a lot.
300, 500? How many pounds can?
I don't know. But it is also just a skull. There's no innards.
True.
Yeah, but it is kind of big. Where is what I'm looking for? All right, as long as it's less than 500 pounds, I could carry it on my disc. We do also have a cart.
Yeah, we got your little disc. But it is, I mean, it is, it's like, it should. I think we'll be, you know what? Doesn't matter. We need to figure it out.
Do we want to start that trek tonight or wait until the morning?
I guess it is pretty late, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, because we got a rest. Like, wasn't it this morning we took a long rest? I guess, or was it last morning?
I mean,
in-game?
that was.
We've been in.
Go ahead.
We haven't rested since we came in here.
Well, I know.
I was a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, let's not bother him again. And I mean, we can find like a little quiet corner down on maybe the first level and put up the hut.
Okay.
Get
yeah, we can do that.
It's Esmeralda, right? Or is it get her come inside? Dom and Letty, of course. Not gonna leave. It's all about family, yo. Not gonna leave them outside.
So you're going downstairs and down to the first floor, and you're going to tell Esmeralda to bring the donkeys inside. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we could find a spot maybe outside, but somewhere kind of as secluded as we can find.
I mean, I will throw out there's Vistani tents literally in the front.
Yeah, we could do that too. But let's just go downstairs. We'll figure that out.
That is fair. So you begin making your way down to the lower level of the of Argen Vastholt. Passing by the door to the room where the Sir Godfried and the rest were, no sounds come out from there. The door is closed. But you can't help but notice as you're making your way downstairs, you do hear a little bit of a creak of the door afterwards.
Oh, they're watching us.
You make your way down to the second level. You're on the balcony, and it's very easy to make your way from there across the balcony down the stairs to the lower foyer. So I'm just gonna go. The foyer is quiet as you come down. It is late, like you mentioned. The only light comes from the shield and Vide's sword. But nothing else bothers you as you make your way. Once you exit Argynvostholt, you do see that there is the two wagons, the two donkeys. You don't see Esmeralda at first as you're exiting, but after a few moments, you hear her climbing out of her own wagon. Crossbow in hand, looking about, clearly hearing your group approach. But once she sees you, she lowers the weapon immediately. Welcome back. You're honestly not gone as long as I thought you were. What happened?
Just a bunch of old, cranky... you should have stayed dead, useful as they are. We've got some information, but now we have to go and retrieve the bones of that dragon skull. I guess they weren't there, were they?
She was not.
When we defeated Lysaga, there was a skull of a dragon that they were using to, like, fly around in. It was the... Yeah, I guess he's going to point to the silver. He's like, it was that dragon skull. If we return the bones and inter them in the crypt, Vladimir up there, the Knight Commander of the Order of the Silver Dragon, might help us.
Maybe.
He's given up. Perhaps if we get the skull back, he'll grow up.
And can we agree that the skull was broken because Lysaga totally, definitely crashed it of her own accord? We had nothing to do with that.
Well, I don't think that matters. I mean, if we return
just in case,
Well, he already knows that she took him. So yeah, I don't... I mean, we killed her. That's all that matters. But I think we need to go do that as soon as possible and bring him back. And then we can go to the Wizards of Wine. And then we can go... It's just like he's pulling up his, like, he's got the little map up on his view screen. Oh, there's so many question marks on this.
Yeah, but we should focus on the
Ubisoft.
We should focus on the question marks that are time sensitive. As much as I want to help the people at the winery, there's nothing there that'll help us defeat Strahd. And we have 13 days?
Oh,
12
less than
days?
that. Less than
11
that.
days?
We're getting down to like 10 territory, I think.
Yeah. That's time crunch.
Well, we can at least go by and give them their crystals as we make our way to the Abbey. Oh, fuck, we still have to go find... what was the swordsman's name?
Darts?
Yes, Darts. I gotta go get Darts, too. God, I guess we don't have to do everything before we go and meet Strahd. I mean...
We just need to do the stuff that'll help us defeat him. Which finding darts is supposed to do that.
I have no illusions that we're going to defeat Strahd at this dinner. None whatsoever. Pretty sure that's going to be... it's going to take a little while. But if we have to make an escape, the more we have to help us, the better.
We have a lot of work to do.
We can keep Dart's existence, and if we could find Robert, we can, keep their still living existence a secret from Strahd, long as possible. You saw how he reacted to Van Richten, your father. These two men helped him. We need to keep all of... Yeah.
They were the only two who managed to stop Strahd. Finding them both is beyond important if we truly wish to defeat him like you seem to.
If we're trapped here, if this is our new home, I at least want to make something of it. These people, you've been under his thumb for far too long. Something needs to be done. Maybe if people see us moving against him, it will motivate them to try.
We have a lot to do and
right.
not a lot of time to do it. So, shall we
exactly
plan our next move?
Yeah, I mean, let's get a rest. Then we'll talk about it over dinner.
Esmeralda says, I've gotten together some firewood while you were inside. I honestly didn't expect you back before morning, but let's get a fire going and discuss what all you found. Are you going to use the Vistani tents, or are you going to camp out around the wagons, or what's the plan?
I mean, I don't like the fact that door creaked. I mean, he gave us. They're going to follow his rule, but I don't like that they creaked open the door. I don't know if it's maybe like they're like, ooh, gossip. We heard the screaming. You know. They're going to go talk to Daddy and find out what happened, but I don't trust that they won't. You know, they're undead, and clearly they have some honor left, but not enough. So, the tents would be fine, but I also kind of, I want that, I almost want to be in the hut, if we can. Maybe put the hut up near the tents?
I can do that. I'll set up the hut near the tents.
And we could even have the tent open right next to the hut. You know, kind of like if you ever built forts with chairs and blankets and shit. The hut can be like the dining room table, and then
Cock just doesn't want to miss Urzak and Delphine sneaking into a tent by themselves.
Oh no! This is totally self-preservation.
The moment
if you guys want to do
left
that,
the hut anyway.
Yeah.
No, you didn't want us to go into one of the tents.
Well, no.
By ourselves.
He doesn't know any of that yet, so
he
doesn't know. He's not gonna watch. He's not a.
No,
cook.
miss us walking into
He'll
a
just
tent.
journal it.
You know what? All right, if we're gonna do that, we need to go get one of the chairs so Cog has a proper cuck chair to sit in, so he has to walk. You know what? I'm gonna side note. Every time me and the guys at work we have to go out of town, is every time we get into our hotel room, we immediately look for that one odd chair that's sitting in the corner. We take a picture and put it in the group chat to see who can find the best cuck chair. It's become a thing. Apparently, there's on TikTok, there's a whole channel dedicated to this.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's funny as shit. Anyway, no, he's.
I'm gonna spend 11 minutes putting up the hut.
Yeah, valid.
Who can't see before I start this? Who can't see in the dark?
Cog.
Esmeralda. Oh, she can
probably
cast spells.
Vide too. Yeah.
Probably Vide. Yeah.
I think it's just Vide, Cog, and Esmeralda. But Cog can do light on something, and
Esmeralda's building a bonfire.
Okay, then I'm not going to bother giving anybody dark vision.
How big is the hut?
Isn't it a 10-foot radius? Oh no, actually, I know you can fit up to 9 creatures plus the caster, so 10.
That was weird.
9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with me. So 10 altogether.
10-foot radius, yeah, so it's a 10-foot radius. So it's pretty big, freaking, it's 20 feet across. It's half a fireball. I mean, 10-foot radius. Come on. Yeah, so it's that big.
So there you go.
Okay.
I think Cog would, I guess, one of the, he'd find one of the larger tents. And I guess unless they're going to be in the tent with us, he would set up Dom and Letty, like, inside one of the Vistani tents.
That's fair.
Get them something to eat. Just kind of like maybe, I would assume when they bought them, they probably got kind of like a kit, like, a brush and things like that to help take care of them. I don't know.
Sure.
Bridle bits for when, hooking them up to the, he'd kind of like brush them both down and just almost give them a play-by-play of what's been going on while they've been separated.
Brushing their legs down because you're like 3 feet tall and
well, yeah, I mean, he'd find a stool,
So you get up about 4 feet. Like horses are 7 feet tall.
Well, these are donkeys though. These aren't horses.
Donkeys are still like 5 to 6.
He would he'd be on like hey, you know what? They lean down and they nuzzle him because they love him. Okay.
Sure, whatever your headcanon says, buddy.
Exactly, that's right. It's mine. It's in his head. So Cog can do whatever he wants. But
he's just sitting there daydreaming about the donkeys.
He's feeding them. He's kind of brushing them, just because I'm sure they're still pretty spooked. Almost being beset upon by. I guess was it like werewolves that they kept hearing or something like. Yeah, or I mean, a Yeti was out there at one point. So yeah. And then he just kind of like come over and crawl in the tent. Or walk into the hut.
Yeah. Esmeralda has built a fire. You've all started a meal. You get together and begin discussing everything you found in Argynvostholt. Eventually the night does wear on, and we'll be getting to the evening here in a few minutes. But before then, I think this is a perfect time to pause and take a break. So, we will be back in about 10 minutes, folks, and when we return, our heroes are going to try to figure out how they're going to find a broken dragon skull they left in a swamp. That should be fun. Stay tuned. Howdy everybody, we are back, and when we last left off, our heroes have been just preparing to go to sleep for the night after exploring a little bit of Argynvostholt. Esmeralda has built a fire within the dome that Delphine has created. You've all made a simple meal, and you're now sitting around the fire and beginning to discuss what all you found within the monastery or fortress. It's kind of both. And the discussion eventually turns towards the skull that Baba Lysaga had left. You had all destroyed it using shatter while fighting the hag, and you had left the pieces in the swamp, not far from that fallen tree. That also housed her hut and was walking around. A lot of weird shit happened that day.
That fell on Cog? Yeah,
yeah, that fell on Cog. Yeah, that's right. So, as that conversation reaches its reaches that point, expedition members, what are your thoughts? How do you plan on approaching this?
Can we see the map, please?
How do you get the map?
Where's the map?
What's the fucking map song?
Oh.
I never actually. Thank God my children didn't like Dora, so I never actually had to watch them.
Go. I'm the one you need to know. I'm the map.
You sound so exhausted while doing that. I loved it. There you go. There's the map. As you can see, you are currently on one of the mountains. Yeah, you're actually on a mountain not far from Aldra. Aldra resides in the crescent of the valley where the river runs between the two major mountains, Mount Gakis and this one. You are on essentially a cliff side on the top, not quite the top of this mountain. And if you look on your map, you can see that, yes, down below, halfway down the river, is the town of Aldra. Now, you would know that just getting there isn't as easy as it seems. You're on a mountain with very steep cliffs, and the road that kind of winds around it goes down the northern slope and then crosses into the mountains or into the forest, passes near the crossroad where you had previously stashed your wagon way back when. And then there is that old unused road that leads from the main Sauvage road down along the Lunar River to the city, or to the former village of Aldra. So, going just down the mountain, kind of difficult if you're planning on taking the wagons with you. And the road that it takes to get around is kind of long.
This is
we gotta go around?
Yeah. This is going to take us several days.
Well, no, it won't take several days. Your average is about 3 miles an hour. You can stretch to 4 miles an hour on your donkey if you're trying to hurry. So it would take, damn near a full day. Yeah.
Yeah, to get there, find the skull, and then another day to get back.
Correct. That's if you plan on taking the actual road.
That is highly inconvenient.
I mean, could we cut through the forest, or is it a really precipitous drop?
I mean, from where you are, it is kind of a precipitous drop. Once you level out, you could theoretically cut through the woods and cut some of your time, but it is very dense, thick woods. Trying to bring a wagon through that isn't the easiest thing in the world.
Well, I mean, we could do this. Yeah, because I mean, this is down here also is where we think Darts is.
Way down here.
That was just, I saw that and I was just like, what would the completionist in me think? It's got to be something. Yeah, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. Go up to the road, and if we can find a spot to cut safely through the arm of the woods to shave down our time, we can, but if not, we'll just do what we got to do.
I mean, but with every shortcut, there are dangers. So if we cut through the woods, we just have to deal with whatever's in the woods.
I mean, this spot right here looks the thinnest. That looks like maybe 2 or 3 trees wide, right about there, or at least according to the map.
Save us a couple miles.
Yeah, I mean, if that is right here, if this is actually truly thinner right there, and we can cut through quickly.
Well, I will say my math is... So we determined that it's about 26 hours, or 26 miles, right? Along that road. That would take you about 6.5 hours. If you're traveling at high speed.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're kind of on a mild time crunch, but there's really, I mean, it's dangerous to kind of cut corners at this point.
Yeah.
And then Strahd's place is...
It's over.
Way over here. So, I mean, it's like if we do go to the Abbey after Dragon Place, I mean, that's way over here. Probably have to leave ourselves, a few, like at least 4 days of travel time if we go to Algeba to get to Strahd on time.
That only leaves us with like 6 days.
Well,
and if we're using 2 of these just to get this skull.
Yeah, but we need something here. That's the important thing. That's Madame Ava. You know what? Madame Ava specifically pointed this place out, and then apparently she also told them, secrets saying, "Hey, Strahd's undead." So I mean, it seems like this is fortuitous as a place to be. So we need to get this done. No, it's a pain in the ass, but so I think this is one of those side missions you just kind of have to get done.
I am down for whatever. I know we need to get the skull because we need to get that sword.
What were you saying, Vide?
I was saying I wish we would have known we needed the skull when we were by it.
We didn't. Yeah. We didn't even know it. I guess we should have assumed it probably belonged. Maybe, but yeah, we didn't know, so.
It's just like in the video game, whenever, you're playing through and there's that one thing you needed, but you forgot to pick it up, and then you gotta go and walk all the way back and get it, and all the way back and put it where it belongs.
We gotta restart the whole game. we missed an item. We skipped a cutscene. We sequence broke. 2 years down the drain, everybody. Start from the top.
Okay. So you all step through the mist to see the death house.
No.
Level 1, baby.
Oh, God.
Hard pass.
I'd rather just die than play level 1 again.
Wow, harsh.
I hate level
Anyway.
We should get going with what we're gonna do.
Well, first
Might as well take the long way. We already did.
Oh.
Isn't that what we did? Isn't this the next morning?
No, this is still the night beforehand.
If we think we're gonna have to dig for pieces, I can prep mold earth for tomorrow.
Might as well. We don't know what we're gonna find when we get there.
Let me see if I have anything else that could be useful.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look at that. Ashley and she's reminding us that we actually did bring the skull with us. We just forgot that we had it this whole time.
You wish.
No, I think Ash is talking about their Curse of Strahd game.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I took it as
Oh, it's been here all along. Crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Okay. So you are all in agreement. You are leaving Argynvostholt and heading back to Aldra to search for the dragon's skull that you destroyed. We're going to go through this a little bit quickly. The first thing I'm going to need is 4 people to give me some perception checks as you bed down for the night. Who wants to be the first watch?
Oh, God. I have a +0.
I can do it.
I got a 5 to perception. Cog will do
I
one
have
to
a
one.
2. I'll do 1.
Okay, someone roll 1 first.
I'll give Delphine the help action.
Yeah, Delphine needs the help action.
Delphine definitely needed it.
Okay, Vide, your first watch. You are you're keeping an eye out. You don't have dark vision, but you got the light from the fire. You are camped in that circle of tents in the outskirts of Argynvostholt. The good news is that nothing really does come to bother you as you're making your watch. It's very peaceful. You go and wake up Delphine, and once you're settled and laying there and you have your hat over your eyes, Delphine goes and nudges Urzak awake as well. And the two of them are apparently having their watch together. You rolled an 18. Your watch also goes by unhindered. What do the two of you do during your watch?
I would say we get real close and huddle around the map, but we're kind of into tight quarters anyways.
Sure.
Everybody's kind of on top of each other. I don't know. I think I think Delphine would try and discuss ways to off Strahd. I think that's at the top of her thought process right now.
I mean, when it comes down to it, he is an undead like any other. There are certain methods you could probably take to make the process easier, but if it were that easy, it probably would have been done by now.
I would feel better. Well, I would feel amazing if we could have everything we needed by that dinner and just take him out. But I would feel better if we have as much as we can possibly have when that time comes.
I agree. I'm unfortunately at the point right now where I feel like we have a lot to do and just simply not enough time.
It's and I understand Cog wanting to help everybody. But we need Strahd out of the picture to help anybody. I mean, we might be able to give them a little bit of help now, but the biggest obstacle is still going to be out there. So do we waste time helping them now or later?
And the more time we spend
when
doing
we can
that, the more time he has to throw wrenches in our way.
Kill
And I
another
hate to admit
alchemist.
that,
Kill another friend. We just keep adding bodies to Cog's hole. That's not ideal. I don't like that. I just want to get rid of him sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But we still have a couple of places we have to figure out where they are to find the things that we need.
Read this again. Dead Village, we've been there. We're going there again for the 3rd time. Tower on a lake. Did we ended up at the tower, right?
Yeah, that was where we met Esmeralda. I think we also need to go down here. I think that's one of the places we need to go. I think that's like a secret entrance to the tower in the snow.
We're at the dragon's house. A set of amber doors. Do we know anything? Do we have any leads as to what that could be?
I was told something about amber doors, and I think I told that they were in. I was told they were in the mountains. Wasn't it up here in like these mountains, like up to the north? Talk. I think is where they said it was.
Well, that's like the exact opposite direction of where we're trying to go.
Because like even that's not 100%. I'm not sure about that. The amber doors, like it could be up in those mountains, but it could be somewhere completely different, and I could be misremembering.
Well, actually, looking at all of this from the notes that we did get on that reading, we've done a decent amount. So maybe things aren't that bad. Ow.
I mean, yeah, progress is being made. That's for sure. But I don't know. I feel like we're wasting time helping people that are just going to get hurt because we're helping them, which is what's been happening to everybody we've been helping.
Wish I could disagree. I really do. But we know what comes next, so we just gotta press on.
Yeah. Yes, we do. I'll give him a little nudge with my elbow.
Kind of nudge back a little bit.
And in one corner, Cog snores softly.
I heard my name.
Who's doing the 3rd watch for the evening?
I can do either 3 or the 4th one. It doesn't matter.
And I can give the help action for the last 2 watches because I figure,
Well, no, you have to. Your first watch was watching. Your second and 3rd watch are you resting, and then the 4th watch is you're able to do whatever you want.
I think I only need technically 1 watch to.
Isn't it 4 hours?
Yeah, you gotta I think it's like a trance, right? Elven trance.
Hold on.
I'll do this one. Unless. Oof. It's not great. Got a lot on his mind. It's a 10.
Oh yeah, it is 4 hours. I can finish a long rest in 4 hours.
Yep. So you'll have your last 2 hours to do your bullet making.
Okay.
Cog, your watch is uneventful. You spend most of your time scrawling in your books, writing down all of the crazy shit that happened in Argynvostholt. Other than that, it's quiet. Who's doing the last watch while Vide makes some bullets?
I suppose Urzak will. Even though this...
If you do that, you've already spent 2 hours awake of this watch, so you would not get a long rest.
Just kidding. Oh, we don't have...
Danika would need to.
Yeah, Danika would have to.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Natalie had to go deal with some work stuff. So I will roll for Danika. Waiting for it to load up. There we go. Danika's watch is actually kind of interesting. At the end of her watch, as the sun just begins to rise up over the mountains to the east, she would see that same battle you had witnessed previously begin to rise up out of the morning mist. Knights wearing armor, fighting against demons and monsters, just fill the courtyards around the castle. She witnesses the dragon Argynvost flying around, blasting, silver is frost. So blasting frost breath down upon the demons as they're fighting. She sees Argynvost fly down, landing at the doors to the keep, reverting into a human form and walking inward, and then the scene fading away once again. It's a grim, if telling, tale about what happens when those who stand up against Strahd fight the legions that he has at his command. During this time, Vide is able to pull out his tools and his powders. He's already been fashioning lead bullets, and he takes some time to fill them in the casings again, and you're able to make 6 more bullets with the 24 Vide. So you can add that to your character sheet.
Thank you.
Eventually, the morning sun does awaken all of you, and you're able to get a long rest. So, what is the plan, Expedition? Are you just going to follow the road around to Aldra?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, anyway.
Might as well be safe.
Okay. As you all awaken and prepare yourselves for the day, eating your morning meal, rubbing down your donkeys and getting them hitched back up onto the wagon, you all can't help but reflect on the fact that there is now 8 days remaining until your dinner with Strahd. It hangs over your head like the doom of Damocles. And you have a lot to do. So let's get to it. This is a morning travel across the main road of Barovia. Cog, I'm pretty sure you're the one who's going to be leading the wagon. You like to do that. So can you give me an animal handling check, please?
All right, Dom and Letty, it's all about family. That's a 23.
That is a 23. You hitch up your wagons. You in the lead, Esmeralda on her wagon following, her spectral horses appearing once she has the reins in her hand, and your two groups set off. Now, as we've ascertained, this is a 6-hour trek. But it is a relatively decent morning this morning. The rains have stopped. The sun, while still hidden behind the clouds, at least is bright enough to give a gloomy gray horizon to you as you make your way down the mountain and into the woods. I'm going to need 2 people to roll. Let's see, this is 2, 4, 6. I need 3 d20s rolled. This is going to be to determine what your travel, what happens during your travel, these 6 hours you're traveling. So give me 3 d20 rolls from 3 different people, please.
I'll roll one. 16.
14.
I'll roll one.
Okay.
Huh. 14, 15, 16.
That's funny. That's the worst possible thing you could have rolled. A gigantic demon just swore. No. Honestly, it's fine. Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Your morning travel is peaceful. You don't encounter anything during these 6 hours. You're just on your wagon, kind of lumbering along, your wheels crunching in the cobblestone. But it's quiet.
It's worse somehow.
You can't help but feel like you're being
calm
watched.
Before the storm.
Yeah, that's really it. The calm before the storm. It's weird, surreal. You don't even hear birds chirping or bugs making sound. It's just silent and gray and gloomy as your wagons pass down the mountain, through the woods, and down along the Luna River. You arrive in Aldra. Let's see. Just a little bit after midday. You probably stop about a couple miles outside of the road, outside of the city itself, or it's not a city, it's a village. You stop about 2 miles outside the village itself, pausing to have a midday meal and consider what you're going to do. Is there any thoughts from anybody? Anything you want to discuss before heading into Aldra?
Did the alchemist ever tell us where he thought Darts was?
Yes. Yeah, Cog would, I guess, because we flew. No, it's not that. That's not it.
Okay.
It's this over here.
That
was just me. I did that. It's
Okay.
This is like a tower with a bridge. This was his tower down here at the end of the river. That's where he would hide out. And he's been missing for, like, he hasn't been seen in years. So he could be dead, or he could just be hiding out like everybody else is.
Do we want to swing down there since we're already, halfway away from Argynvostholt as it is?
I suppose we could. I mean, it might be because Cog says that he definitely wants to get to the Abbey, but I don't know if we'd want to bring, if we even can, resurrect Irina. I don't know if, like, definitely probably not bringing them to the dinner. That would probably, so we don't want them to die just super quick again. But I mean, I guess we could leave them at the Abbey if they are able to be resurrected. If they can at all. Because who the hell knows at this place. I mean, I'm not against.
We are already like almost halfway there.
I mean, I know wasn't there something about Mount Gakis as well? One of the cards say something like allude to something in the mountains.
I know I talked to somebody in Veros about the Amber Doors, and those Amber Doors, they said they were in the mountains. Can I roll a history check to see if Delphine remembers, because Dyto doesn't?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I use my natural 20?
You can.
All right, so that would be a 29 history.
You're discussing this whole thing, and you start thinking back to the conversation you heard in Veros. You had heard in Veros that across Lake Zarovich, somewhere up in the region around what is it called? Mount Baratok. You heard that there is a madman roaming about who enters and exits through a set of golden doors.
Yep.
When you were talking to, what's her name? To Esmeralda, she had mentioned that she had been searching the Svalich Woods for the Mad Mage, the madman who roams the woods around the mountain and can cast spells. She had heard that this individual was actually Mitchell, the mage the mage who fought against Strahd, and she was looking for him. She didn't find any golden doors or anything like that, she had told you, but she had mentioned that she had found the madman. She had called out to him and addressed him as Mitchell, and his reply was to throw a spell at her, forcing her to flee. So you had heard about golden doors, which could also be interpreted as amber or yellow doors,
Right.
and a madman roaming about who lived in them. And you have heard about the mad mage, who you believe to be Mitchell, who's roaming the same area. If you like, I'll also let you make an insight check.
Not my greatest. 15. Not bad for a +2.
So far, as you're sitting there kind of thinking about it, a madman casting spells and a mad mage believed to be Robert Mitchell, that does kind of connect. But golden doors, like as you're thinking about, are not amber doors. While they have a similar coloration, the word itself is different. So while that could mean the same thing, there's also the possibility it doesn't. And your prophecy could mean something completely different than golden doors.
Does anybody know anything about Robert Mitchell?
I mean, I was alive, obviously, when he was around. I mean, I remember him disappearing. I mean, he was a very talented, wizard that was very good at enchanting magical items. He had a shop, Port Valena, kind of very ostentatious. He just kind of up and just go ahead.
Is he part of a noble bloodline?
I mean, would Cog know something like that?
I'll allow you to make a history check.
With him having the Conclave researcher background, would he potentially get advantage on such an item?
I'll allow it.
That's a 15.
15. Here's what you would know. Robert Mitchell is not a noble bloodline. In fact, he was very open about the fact that his family came from very humble beginnings. Him and his sister were
That's
born
right.
to.
She was his assistant, wasn't she?
Yeah. He and his sister were born very, very poor, in fact. And when he discovered he had magic, he had been able to go to the Magical Institute, the Twisting Spires, and he was very, very proud of the fact that he was basically he came from nothing.
He's a self-made man.
He's a self-made man, exactly. And that's something that he and his sister, who ran the shop with him, the sister managed the shop while he made the magic. They were very proud of that fact and talked about it quite often. So you would absolutely know the fact that he is not a noble.
Yeah, he didn't come from an important family, if that's what you're asking. He kind of made himself. It was actually kind of an inspiring story. Yeah, I mean, he was kind of obnoxious, from what I hear. I never got a chance to meet him myself. And he was kind of caught up in that whole dreamer cult thing. Although I've read some reports from I think it was a young dragonborn that she had noted that he was kind of tricked, like magically, put under a spell to join their cause. But yeah, and then I'm assuming, he disappeared during that encounter. And I just found out he's been here the whole time.
Okay. Well.
So yeah, no, he's not. But when it comes down to it, I mean, nobility through blood. I guess that is a title you can gain. But I think you could be a very noble person and come from the most humble of beginnings.
Yeah. Vide, what are your thoughts when hearing all this?
Not gonna lie, Vide kind of spaced out there for a second.
Does that mean Vide's player spaced out? I mean, would Vide know much about the situation?
Yeah, they're talking about an enchanter named Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Vide doesn't remember a whole lot of before,
Before you're awakened. How long ago I guess we know what Vide is at this point, right?
Do you?
I'm sure it. I could have. I mean, it's definitely come up. I know.
Yeah,
but I guess
feel like at one point Strahd mentioned something about it.
Oh yeah.
But was that around everybody else?
No, actually, I don't think that was. I think they had pulled you. I thought you were separated from them.
It's true.
I mean, you could just also not have been near Port Valena and had any idea who Mitchell was either.
That's true too.
You had the greatest halfling, or was he a gnome or a halfling?
Oh no, he's a gnome.
Yeah, you had the greatest gnome artificer in the world with the most awesome name possible. That's the only magic user person you needed. Mr. Fuck Laral. Literally, he put that. Somehow a name generator spit that fucking out for Matt. It was destiny.
That's amazing.
That's true. I mean, you are familiar with the artificer Fuckleral who made your gun, and the talk of an enchanter, somebody who can magically create or imbue things with power. That's something you've thought about in the past, Vide.
Yeah, that would be nice to find this person if he does still exist, and maybe make my gun a little magical.
I mean, everything I've heard about him, he probably, I don't know about here, definitely back home he could have, but I assume his magical essence would still be with him here, so I suppose as long as he has the components or whatever materials he might need. I guess we'll find out.
Worst case scenario is he can't do anything. Best case, I get a magic gun.
I like the way you think, Vide. So should we look for the skull?
I suppose we should.
Right here.
Well, we know where she went down because we get what's near the hut. So, suppose that would be our destination.
Sorry. I imagine there is a little bit of trepidation as you all get back into your wagons and make your way into the drowned city of Aldra. The village is basically unchanged from when you left it. Mossy, marshy land, broken structures, ruins, barely remnants of the once great fishing village that resided here. It is quiet as you make your way into the center of the village. You can't help but look at every single shadow, eyeing for one of those scarecrows to pop out. But you are blissfully, or, I don't know, yeah, I guess blissfully was a good word, relieved by the fact that nothing approaches you. As you make your way into the center of the village, it's hard to miss the gigantic root structure that had come out from the bottom of Baba Lysaga's tree hut. It's still there in a big jumble and mess of vines and branch and parts of the root structure. There's the house that had, not too long ago, landed on top of Cog. The area around the structure is damp. It's a swamp. Bugs fly about and peck at you as you're making your way through. There's so much moisture that everything from your ankles up to your calves are just doused in this slimy, kind of stinky water. It's not an unfamiliar sensation. You've been here a couple times before. But every single time is just as bad as the last. Now, searching around the area of the tree hut is going to take an investigation check from each of you. If every single one of you succeeds, you find every single piece of that skull. The more of you that fail, the longer it takes. This is just a matter of time.
So I can't just give the help action to somebody?
Nope.
Okay.
I need 5 rolls, 1 from each of you.
Would
I
locate
get guidance?
object help?
Locate object will help, actually. Did you prepare that?
Cog did. It's like I was like, all right, we're gonna need help if it's in the swamp. So yeah, we've got Cog has a locate object.
Good, because I got a natural 1.
That was almost a natural 20. Almost.
I got a dirty
28.
20.
I got
guess-
a 9.
Should I just roll with advantage, or would having the locate object, would that just kind of point me pretty much to where? Or it'd get
So
me
here's the deal. It's getting you close. So this is going to give you a free win plus advantage on your roll.
Oh, okay.
So you need five wins in total. You've already got 1, and then you're gonna roll. And it looks like Kenny Rules is giving advantage to Urzak for his roll.
Oh, looks
Oh,
like
there we go.
Delphine and Vide both a 20 and a 28 for them.
Yeah, I got a 20.
And
That becomes a 15.
then a 23 for Cog. So I guess depending on what the DC is, we might have 5 there.
Well, so I'm just gonna let you know that the DC itself was a 20.
Oh, so we got 4.
You got 4 out of 5, which isn't that bad. You do eventually find all the pieces. You waste about an extra 2 hours on top of what you could have. So in total, this is just going to cost you a total of 6 hours to find all of the pieces. By the time you're done, it is about 7 o'clock in the evening. The sun is setting fairly nicely over the horizon. But you have accomplished your task, and you thanks to Cog and that locate object spell, you're able to narrow down and find each of the pieces of the skull. It's pretty big. I'll remind you that it's a dragon skull. A old woman literally used it as a carriage and flew around in the thing. So when it was complete, it was about the size of one of your wagons. On the other hand, now that it's in a bunch of chunks, it's very easy to transport.
Sweet. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess it's be a couple hours at least to get down to the tower. Are we wanting to? Do we just want to hoof it and kind of get there later? Or are we really wanting to burn another night? Because remember we don't have a whole lot.
How long did it take? Oh, sorry, I didn't see the measurement.
It's like 9 miles. Oh, yeah. So it's like 2.5 hours.
So just to give you a little bit of information. Now, along the river, it is nice and even, and it's not difficult. However, the farther you get away from this village, the more steep it gets to. This bridge right down here is actually connecting 2 cliffs. The cliff on the bottom of Mount Gakis and this mountain here to the north. So you do have to kind of go up a little bit of an incline. Now, all that's going to do is add a little bit more time to your travel. In total, it would take you about 12. It's about 12 miles of distance. So that's that would be another 3 hours.
Yeah, what's the consensus?
I mean, it's gonna take us 3 hours to get down there.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do a whole lot today. We can take the 3 hours, go down, spend the night, and then figure out what this tower is in the morning.
Let's
That sounds about as good a plan as any.
try to get as much done as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well, because we're already this close.
Right. And if we have to go all the way back up into the other mountains on the other side of Lake Zarovich, we might as well just finish up what we have to do down here.
So is that the plan?
Sounds like it.
I have been sneezing all day long today. Okay. So you're setting out once again, leaving Aldra Village and heading towards the tower next to the bridge that you have been described to as a possible hiding place of darts. Because this is nighttime and you are leaving the main road, I'm going to need another couple of travel checks here. So I need 2 people to roll d20s.
I'll do one. 12.
10.
Okay. You set out again, following the river away from Aldra to the southwest. The terrain is a little bit rough. It's a swampy, marshy area. You're having to pull wagons through it. There's a couple times you have to stop and get off and assist the donkeys through the more treacherous, muddy swamp, sticky parts of the swamp. But eventually you do reach the point where the mountain begins to ascend once again, and you have to take the wagons out of the marsh and along this much more rocky terrain. You are eventually going to arrive back on the main road of this area, near the bridge, at about, let's see, it would be 10 o'clock in the evening when you finally arrive there. Cog would have had to have been casting light on Urzak's shield and put the shield at the side of the wagon to kind of work as a light, as a lamp.
We got headlights.
Yeah, a little bit. The strain on your wagons is a little bit difficult. I do want Cog, real quick, to give me an animal handling check.
Watch, this will be the one he fails down. Oh, well, an 11. So it's not shit, but it's not awesome. It's just,
Well, with your 11, once you finally make it to the main road again, you all get down and examine your wagon, and there is some wear and tear. The axle is getting stressed, and you can see some stress fractures along the wooden beam. Fortunately, I can't remember who it is. It's either Danika or Delphine.
I think
who
has mending.
Delphine. You have mending. You're going to have to mend up your wagon again.
A wizard's job is never done.
Fair enough. Once you arrive at the main road, you look up and you can see the tower in the distance. So let me pull this up so I can describe it for you. Okay. As you make your way up the side of the hill towards the top of this level area of a cliffside on the side of this mountain, what you see is this. You can see this. This is the southern side of the bridge. The snowy pass that you're approaching, because it is getting quite cold down the farther south you go. The snow pass comes to a gorge spanned by a stone bridge, which you can see rising as you're climbing up the side of this hill. At each end of the bridge is a 30-foot tall, 30-foot wide stone arch. Atop each one are two statues of armored knights on horseback, with lances, charging towards one another. The wind bites and howls like wolves as it passes through the gorge, prickling your skin and causing a chill to creep up your back. You're all forced to dive into your packs and pull out weather cloaks and drape them about you as you're making your way. The further south you got, the snowier it became, which caused the stress of the axles of your wagon and force you to stop. The stone bridge is quite impressive, though damaged from age. And you can see farther to the south that lone stone tower rising high up into the sky. A little farther past, you can see another boundary, a wall built along the roadway leading farther south. You can't see more of those details. It is extremely dark. And the only reason you can see the silhouette of the tower at all is just simply thanks to the fact that nights here never get completely 100% dark. Your group gathers up once again, climbing into their wagons, and I assume make your way south towards that tower.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you're making your way closer, heading down the road, you see an odd sort of greenish glow in the distance. The light that was causing you to be able to see the silhouette of this tower is actually a curtain of green flame that goes across the archway of the gatehouse farther to the south. It's an impressive thing, The light is only vaguely there, like it only slightly illuminates, enough that you can see its outline and that greenish glow, but not much more beyond it. The tower itself rises quite high into the air. It is a 3-story tall structure. It is cylindrical, made of stone, and quite smooth. There doesn't seem to be any windows along the tower. It seems completely solid. But at the top of it, you can see a little bit of portcullis decorating the top. At the bottom of the tower, a cold hearth stands across from the door. Seems there is a door inset into the tower, though it is closed and you cannot see much more beyond that. So I'll go ahead and show this to you on the map. If Roll20 would actually load for me.
Oh, there it is.
It's like it's all black.
It's so dark, I can't see anything.
Yeah, it was weird. It just kind of froze on me for a second.
Here we go.
Your breath chills and fogs in front of you as you're making your way towards the tower. You can see that inset of the door quite clearly, though not much discernible details exist beyond that. What do y'all want to do?
Approach it with reckless abandonment and
Okay.
cautiously approach.
Is my screen supposed to be black?
You might have to scroll down to find it. I mean,
Oh no, I can see like my name and stuff.
No.
But it's.
No, it's probably because there is no light. I'm gonna say that Urzak's shield is lit up.
Yeah, Cog would be dropping shield spell anytime we're in a situation like this. Or light spell, not shield spell. Light spell and shield.
There we go. You should be able to see the map now, Vide.
Yeah, I can.
Looks kind of like a magic thing.
Yep.
This kind of look at Cog and Delphine and Danika, and I go, "It's kind of your guys' stuff."
Yeah, I heal people. What do you want me to do with this? Abracadabra. Yeah, I got. What do you?
Well, as you're
I
kind
don't know
of...
if I have any. I could do like an Arcana check or something.
I mean, Cog would, I guess, be looking at it with you, and he would guide you.
What are we Arcana checking?
What, at least to like find out like what kind of magic is surrounding this tower.
So
Or
there's no
traps.
magic around the tower. The green flames you can see is guarding this gateway. It's a giant portcullis with a stone wall that basically blocks the path, the road leading further south.
Okay, then I will try and take a look around and see if I can see like a trigger or anything that might turn it off. I don't have Dispel Magic. I don't think. I have Counterspell, but I don't have Dispel Magic. So I'm gonna look and see if there's like something to turn it off. 17. Tog, you said you had guidance, right?
Yes.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You're examining this wall and the green flame around it. You're ignoring the tower to the west for the moment and just examining this wall that blocks the road leading south to north. As you look about, you do not see any sort of lever or anything like that. There's nothing that stands out as actually like controlling this green wall of flame that blocks the pathway. However, as you're examining it and begin to look upwards, there is something you do notice. At the top of the wall, there are a pair of gargoyles, stone gargoyles that are etched, that are just kind of leering over the wall. At first you saw them, nothing really seemed out of the ordinary, just decorations in this wall. But as you're looking about, examining this flame, and you look farther, you are certain without a shadow of a doubt that the face of these things have moved. They seem to be looking directly at you, grinning with very large, wide grins.
Does anybody else see that?
You say that pointing up to these things, and the moment you do, they leap forward, arms outstretched, wings spread, down towards you.
Oh.
Which I think is an excellent place to end things for this evening. Because it's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there we are, folks. We are leaving our heroes. They have found a tower they're hoping to find an individual known as Darts at. But instead, what they found are a pair of gigantic stone monstrosities that are leaping to fight them. Sounds like fun. Which is where we're going to be picking up in 2 weeks' time.
Maybe they just want a hug.
Oh, they are coming after the wrong person for a hug.
Fun times. Well, thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what our heroes are able to do against these winged stone monstrosities. Can't wait to see that. But before then, as always, we got to go around the table to have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. And Delphine, you're the one who did the recap, so why don't you go first?
I'm Dyto. You can find me on Twitter at Dyto11. I don't really post there much, but I'll be back here tomorrow night doing Tyranny of Dragons. And then Monday with Aethertech Wars. And then in 2 weeks, I'll be back here doing Curse of Strahd.
Heck yeah. Natalie, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Well, I'm excited to meet Darts, hopefully. But I'm Danika, and you can probably meet me here every 2 weeks on Random Rhapsody playing Curse of Strahd.
Absolutely. Cog, you're next.
I have been Corwan Oliver Goodwood. I am Joe, but I'm here every Wednesday, but also the same week every Monday. playing Zolos Vonnegut in Aether Shanties. We are still in the fight with the pirates, although the numbers have evened up. We have been murking motherfuckers. And like a bunch of their guys were like caught on fire and hurt pretty bad. So I like our odds. Things have been going awesomely well, and even our NPC, our poor little Wallace, he got a couple of kills. I'm so proud of him. It's great. But yeah, that's fun. So yeah, cover that 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll finish that fight, and goddamn, then we got to go fight more people, more zombies. It's fights just never end. You always think D&D is going to be so much more fun. It's just fight after fight. It's so tiring. But yeah, combined fighting. It's a lot of fun.
You see the tear? That tear that just fell? Yeah.
The music starts playing in the background. In the arms of it.
Yeah. Anyway, Vide, why don't you go next?
I am Brandie. Sorry about that. Hold on. Okay, let me try that again. I am Brandie, and I played Vide tonight, and I play Mako the opposite Mondays on the Aether Tech Wars. You can find me on the socials as at River Dragon 82. That is River with a Y. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Right on. Urzak, next.
Hey, I'm Marty. As always, I've been Urzak here and every other week. You can find me on social media at Balmer, wherever I post. I don't post much of anywhere these days. But go check me out on the Bard Rock Network, on a bunch of shows over there. Not the least of which, Bard Rock Cafe itself, where we're ramping up towards the big finale of Campaign 1.
Heck yeah. Nice. Well, as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can find me every Monday and Wednesday right here running crazy games for crazy people and having a blast do it. It's always a good time. You can find me on the socials as at Scruffy Wanderer. If it's a social and it exists, I'm on it under that name, so come hang out with me. Other than that, I'm right here. So, on behalf of everyone here on the Random Rhapsody Network and everyone in the Curse of Strahd crew, I just want to say, thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may you live,
May you live
until you die.
until you die.
Die.
And good night, everybody.